Good afternoon, and welcome to the Baseball and Beer Podcast. I'm your host, John Nee, along with my co-host and beer expert, J.R. Nicholas.
Hello.
Hello. So, the Phillies are coming off a pretty decent road trip, dude. They went 2-1 in Toronto. They lost today to finish 1-2 in
Today wasn't
Milwaukee.
good. Today wasn't good.
But 3-3, we'll take that, right? On the
Yeah,
road,
it's
going
fine.
out, two good teams.
Yep.
Uh,
Toronto's struggling.
They come home. They're going to play the Mets or the Marlins for 3, the Mets for 3 at home, and then they're going to hit the road for 4 in Washington, which will bring them to the midway point already, 81 games into the season. So, I think they have a great shot where they're sitting right now. They're in a wild card spot. I think they have a great shot when this is done after that Washington series at the midway point to be somewhere about 44, 45 wins, which will put them on pace for, 88 to 90 wins for the season. That would put them in the playoffs, and that's
trying to win series here.
Absolutely.
Win these games at home. Marlins are really good right now. They beat the.
They got to take 2 or 3.
They just won 8 out of 9. They just beat. Who were they playing?
I'm not sure. I wasn't.
The Braves beat. No, they beat Seattle or the Braves beat. I forget. The Braves. No, the Mets beat the Braves. Marlins beat like Seattle or something.
Seattle.
And
won.
Right. They're killing it.
Well, I mean, you're coming home.
You got a guy that
6.
has like a 7-0 record. It just it's killing it.
I need 4 or 6. 4 or 6 from the Mets. Mets are bad.
Yeah.
Marlins are the Marlins.
Is this the week where they have that weird off day on the 19th?
I believe it is.
Yeah, because they play.
They play like Wednesday, Thursday off.
Or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then they play the Mets on Thursday, and they're off on Friday.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird.
And they come back and play them Saturday or something. It's weird. I forget
Saturday,
how. I remember looking. I don't know why they did it like that.
That's
Maybe
right. I have the Father's Day Sunday night at 7:15.
Something weird going on with that. It's a weird setup, but
I don't know.
But anyway, like I said, after the start they had in April, a chance to be at 45 wins at the midway point. Not too bad.
They'll get there. Hopefully.
So what are we drinking?
Anyway,
on this hot Sunday.
You're going to like this because this is an old friend of yours, the Harpoon.
Oh, yeah, I had a couple you gave me.
This is a summer style blonde ale, and I'm not sure if this is the same beer I used to drink back when I had it in bottles, but this is a really, really solid summer offering, and I was sharing this last night at a party, and people were really digging it. So cheers to summer beers. A summer style from Harpoon. Harpoon and I go way back.
Yes.
Way back.
Boston's finest.
All New England loves Harpoon.
Yeah, that's very good. That's very good.
Really
I had a couple,
cheers.
last night. That little 8 or 9 pack that you left here for me after borrowing the tool.
Oh, was this in it? Did you have one of these? Oh, good. Good.
I think you left me 2 of them.
Little Noah's Ark. Yes.
There may have been. There's a Sam Adams light in there. There was a Hollander. Drank that last night as well.
I got all excited with my summer stock that I got down at Total Wine. And I'll tell you what, just to throw it out there, I don't have a can to share with you. Did you get a Trogs?
I did get the two. I did get the Trogs.
Because I got a 12 pack of that Trogs, 12 16-ounce cans for $19.99.
Yeah, he gave me a couple. 16s. I drank some of them.
I got to start drinking more summer beer. It's more affordable.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Cheers to summer beer.
So basically, like we said, we're 11 games away from the midway point, and the question now is the holes that the team has, what we have seen. Andrew Painter is not living up to the expectation.
Painter needs to go down for a little bit.
The signing of Garcia in right field was pretty much a failure in my eyes, and now he's hurt. And they're going to try to replace him.
Done, right?
Yeah, I think he's done for the year. He was here basically for, the only thing he was doing well this year was playing a good outfield and throwing the ball.
And now he hurt himself
throwing the ball. So,
yeah.
He's on the 60-day IR, but it looks like it's season ending.
Yeah.
And they made a trade with the White Sox, grabbed the guy Derek Hill. Nothing really there.
Another we're going to get out of that.
Depth outfielder. Yeah. They brought up Gabriel Rincones Jr.
Yep.
Looks like they're going to try to platoon them guys in right field for a while. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Baroa took a leave. I think a paternity leave.
Oh.
I don't know if he'll be back, and maybe it's going to be between him and Stubbs for a spot. Maybe he'll platoon in right field with Rincones Jr. and Hill will be platooning with Crawford. It looks like it seems like they're sitting him a lot.
Here. Yeah, they got a lot to figure out.
So and they don't have a left-hander right now at this point. They do not have a reliable left-handed reliever to come in the 7th, 8th inning. Alvarado and Banks have not been good.
No.
So that's another thing that they may have to address going forward. So
Well, don't trade for Strom. He's not having a good year.
He's not, but I would take him back. His ERA is in the 4s. That's a lot better than the 6 that Alvarado and Banks are in.
I don't want him back.
And
Get somebody else who can actually.
Sometimes
go get Chapman for Christ's sake.
When I look at these moves, sometimes people say, "Oh, look what Bader's doing for the Giants, this and that." Bader's only played 30 games this year. Sometimes it's just where you were. Look, Bader was just an average player. He had he just fit here last year.
He did.
Would I have signed him for $30 million? No. So, but whatever. But what are we going to do come the trade deadline? What do we have available? And who's to blame for where this team is at right now? They started with Rob Thompson, firing him. He was a scapegoat.
All right, who's next?
We can't blame Middleton. A lot of people like to say Middleton this, Middleton that. No. Middleton has given Dombrowski the money to sign the guys. It's the guys that Dombrowski has signed that have been the problem.
Yes.
So I'm going to put this blame on Dombrowski. The team is what it is. It's an aging core.
Yes.
We've seen what they've done since 22 in the playoffs.
Right.
They've made it. They've got knocked out.
Right.
They're going to make the playoffs again. They need another piece. We've been saying it for years now. They need a right-handed hitting outfielder.
Yes, which they haven't addressed yet because I don't think this is going to work out. What they just
we probably need a 5th starter now because Painter's going to have to go down to the minors, whether they want to or not, whether they believe it or not. You cannot keep running this guy out here for 5 innings, 5 runs. Number one, it doesn't help the team. Number two, it's killing his confidence. This kid's going to be ruined if you don't get him back to AAA and straightened out. He doesn't have to be down there for the whole year. He could come back, get him down 4 or 5 starts, see what happens. Now, we don't have nothing in the minor leagues, which again, to me, is an indictment of Dombrowski not filling that minor leagues with depth for a situation like this. They don't have a backup outfielder they can bring up. I mean, they're going to try Rincones Jr., another left. They don't have a right-handed outfielder.
No.
I thought maybe it would have been Brian De La Cruz. We've been talking about him all year, it seems, to be the guy to come up, and yet he hasn't come up, so I don't know what's going on there. He has 9 homers in the minors, 30-some RBIs. He is hitting 236, so in my opinion, that fits right in with the Phillies. I mean, between 230 and 240, so, a few homers here and there. So, I mean, for me, it's Dombrowski, and what has he done for this outfield? I mean, the free agents he's brought in here, Merrifield, Kepler, Garcia. That don't do it. That don't turn the needle.
No.
Couple of trades he's made. I had to write a couple of these down. I was looking at them the other day. Pache, Austin Hayes, at Bader last year, which was okay. But again, these ain't blowing no one away.
No.
And then the contracts that he's given out to some of these guys, signing Nola for 7 years, letting Ranger walk. Signing Alvarado and letting, you're saying he's having a bad year, letting Strom walk. Alvarado's coming off an 80-game suspension, for Christ's sakes, and you let Strom go.
He's not looking like, he's just not, I don't know. His days may be numbered on this team after this year.
They could be. I mean, signing JT for 3 years, again, an indictment because you have no catchers in your system.
They had to do
You had to sign him.
And Marchand played today. I didn't understand that. I don't know.
Yeah, he's just trying to keep JT healthy, I guess, or fresh.
Dude, he's hitting 100.
I know.
You can't hit, and then you got, you're playing the Brewers. You want your best hitters.
Yes.
Out of the 3 catchers, who's the best hitter?
Yeah, JT.
Why don't you let Sid?
It's hard
to figure out when to give
these contracts. A Walker, 4 years ago for the money they paid him. Garcia this year, another $10 million, in right field. Yeah. And then, the whole, I'm going to beat this, probably been beating it to death. The whole Casti debacle, which makes it a $30 million spot out there. Paying Casti 20, Garcia 10. Now you got a $30 million spot, and you got Derek Hill and Gabriel Rincones Jr. out there for the time being.
And good right now.
We don't have no depth in the minors. We tried Kemp, we tried Reyes, we tried Baroa. I mean,
let's address what we talked about last podcast about the bench. So we got a weak bench because you got too many.
It's awful.
Too many
Stubbs,
catchers.
The third catcher there,
and then we have Sosa, who, if we were to bolster the bench and let Sosa have more at bats by putting him in left field and throwing Martian right, and
playing him every day, maybe.
And then you can bench those guys who.
Then you have no bench.
Then you have no bench.
Yeah, you have no bench.
Well, you have the guys that we just traded. The guy who just traded for, and
you would have Hill, you'd have Baroa, you'd have Stubbs and Marchand.
Like you said, Rincones has to play every day, so we get that problem again, like Kemp. Is Kemp back up? Or, no, he's not here, right?
No. Hill came in. Baroa, I guess, will come back off maternity leave.
It's like a rotating door. It's like it's just.
And even, So even their prospects, like, what do they have to, like, everyone keeps saying at a trade deadline, and we've done it too.
We don't have much to offer.
And we love to hear the names, like, and I'm going to eliminate some of these names right now. Number one, Trout's got 4 years left on his contract. Trout's not coming here. Brian Buxton. Buxton keeps saying he doesn't want to leave the Twins. He's from Atlanta, folks. If he decides to waive his no-trade clause and go somewhere, he'd probably go to the Braves before he'd come here. So let's eliminate them two right off the bat. Tarek Skubal.
Not happening.
Our prospects are Miller, Gage Wood, a 17-year-old outfielder named Renteria, Escobar, second baseman, and Dante Nuri. I mean, that's their top 5. All 5 of them wouldn't bring Skubal here. All 5 of them wouldn't bring him here, folks. And number one, Miller's hurt. And with a bad back, a 21-year-old kid with a bad back, I mean, we have nothing, which, I mean, I don't even know if these names are going to be enough at the trade deadline to bring us a Harrison Bader this year.
Like that type player.
Or a Michael Lorenzen type, number 5 starter that we're going to need maybe for 2 months. I mean, Or
the left-handed bullpen guy.
Yes,
which is becoming a problem with every time we talk. It seems to be there's more issues with the bullpen. Bullpen was supposed to be
their strength,
along with the starting pitching. Our pitching was supposed to be so good, and yet there's holes in the bullpen. There's problems. We don't have the bullets like we thought we had.
Look, the team's going. What else we got? Go ahead, pop another one out there.
We'll talk bullpen.
Luckily, we're in the shade here on this warm day, but
bullpen's a problem. This is I'm gonna talk about this for a second. This is an old friend of mine, Lancaster Brewing Company. Great beer. This is a Kolsch. Okay, so this is a German style beer. It is our tribute to the traditional beer of Cologne. Cologne, Germany, is like the birthplace of Kolsch, and this is definitely definitely in that style, and it's great beer. I've been drinking this. I haven't had it in a while, but I've had this many years ago. This is really good stuff.
Always like the Kolsch.
Lancaster. This is pretty much the only, like, I don't like the the strawberry beer they have and some of the other. I don't know much about their IPAs, but this right here, this is a good beer.
Yes, it is.
Very traditional.
Delicious. Nice and cold too. Full a little more in there.
Yes.
Fill that thing up on this hot day.
It's Pilsner season, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to drink some good beers.
Yes, it is. So basically, the team's going to be good. Like I said, they should have 44, 45 wins at the midway point in a couple weeks here. I think they're going
to have Marchand batting every.
I mean, when you got Wheeler and Sanchez out there, and even Luzardo hasn't had a great year, but he's keeping me in games.
Right, like last time.
You got Duran closing games. Kincaid will give you some solid, 8th inning.
Yep.
Sugart's been good. The other night, he walked some people.
Keller's up and down.
Keller's, he hasn't been as good as advertised. Alvarado and Banks been awful. Tim Mays has been pretty decent.
Yes.
So, I mean, the team.
Shame about the bullpen. It is.
They're going to win their 88 or 90, but with this current squad, if they can't make a splash at the deadline, which I don't think they can. I really don't think they can.
Big, they'll do something little, which will piss you off, and you'll bitch and moan about it.
A couple Band-Aids. I don't believe the team can just. We see too many games like today, Mizorowski shuts them out, and that's okay. I mean, the guy's having a great year,
He's incredible.
And then you come out last night, you score 9 runs, you have 17 hits, but then you get shut out again today. Like that just seems to happen too often. And when you get in the playoffs and start facing these good players, you're going to have to score 2 or 3 runs, okay? And Wheeler and Sanchez, you can win them games with Wheeler, Sanchez, concurring in the 8th. Look, come playoff time, Sanchez and Wheeler are getting to the 8th inning.
Yeah.
7th,
we got
late in the 7th, 7th in the 3rd.
And
then you're going to go to Concurring. Hopefully Alvarado or Banks have it worked out by then, or they make a move for lefty so you have a left-handed reliever if you need it. And then it's going to be Duran in the 9th. You can win them games.
Yes.
If the offense can produce 2 or 3 runs.
Score.
I mean,
you got to score. Today was like a boring game, and I texted you earlier. Remember, I said, I'm going to go outside. It's 4-0. This game's shit, and then
nothing you would expect with Sanchez.
Harper flied out, and he got off the end of the bat, and that was the end of the inning, whatever it was, the 5th or whatever. And I went outside, did a little yard work, and then I came back in and watched Baum ground out, or somebody, or something. Oh no, Marsh grounded out to end the game, and I'm like, oh bummer, and like they didn't do shit. They didn't score a run. It was like I came back inside and it was like 4-1, 4-2. Like they got a couple runs. It's like it was. If I watched that game, if I were not to go outside and try to do some yard work, I probably would have taken a little nap. I'd have fallen asleep. It's like one of the boring as fuck games where they're not scoring. You know it's over.
Yes.
We talked about it. It's over.
You have your ace on the hill. He gives up 4. You don't expect that.
They're a good team. They pitch well. They can score runs, unlike us at times.
Yep.
And it's 4-0, and it's the 4th or 5th inning, and you're like,
This game's over.
This game's pretty much over.
You know it's over.
It's over. Or we bring in somebody to the bullpen and they tack on like 5 more runs, and it's like that happens too.
It's just
I know I'm being all negative, but like I've seen this before.
I mean, today for me, look, like you got 2 in Toronto. You won last night, so you're 3-2 on this trip. You had a chance to go 4-2. You had your best pitch. Your ace on the hill today.
Yes, we didn't have it, but they could have still won.
Yeah, it's a disappointing 3-3 trip after the way things panned out with Sanchez.
Like I don't, he gave up that 3-run homer, and it was, Ruben after the game talked about like Trey didn't make the play.
Trey's been awful this year,
dude.
Terrible. Another bad.
Those runs were unearned in our opinion because Trey should have made that play. He lollygagged a catcher running, Contreras, running, and he kind of like just didn't act fast enough, and he was safe. And then the inning kind of went sideways. They got the guy picked off they got the bomb run down the guy from third and him, and then just things just kind of kept going, and then the 3-run homer.
Well, speaking of bomb,
that was the first out, and they would have been out of that inning. And
speaking of bombing contracts,
yes.
It always looked like the plan was for Miller to replace Baum next year.
No,
do we have to sign out
Baum?
It's
like a JT situation again,
it's just like, do they try to sign Baum for 1 year and see if Miller can come back next year? Like, who knows? That's a mess. I mean,
do you think Bob's agent's going to be like, oh yeah, just stay with the Phillies for a year?
No.
Like, dude, no, we can go get you like a 4 or 5 year deal for a truck ton of money. Why would he stay?
I mean, look, these prospects. Look, first of all, for me.
Can't trade him.
With Phillies prospects.
Can't trade him now.
Look, we haven't had the greatest track record of prospects coming up. So, Sixto Sanchez and guys like that untouchable, can't be traded, for like a Roy Halladay back in the day yet. They never pan out. So, look, Miller at 21 with a bad back. I'm not expecting much out of him now. From what I've seen from Andrew Painter this year right now.
I was just going to say that, Painter. We're not having any luck with Painter.
If anything happens and he becomes a decent MLB pitcher, great. I'm not believing the hype that I did believe the last 3 years of how good this guy was.
The hype train has
and quite frankly, I mean, he's playing okay, but for me, like Crawford, I mean, 230 something. He's got no power, which is fine. He's not a good center fielder. I think he needs to be in left field.
Left field. Yeah.
And
then somebody.
His biggest asset is his speed, and it's not being utilized. He has
he's not allowed to bunt.
7 steals. I mean, for me,
gotta get on base to steal, Johnny.
Yes. I mean, a good year for Crawford for me would be, if he hits 5 homers this year, which is possible, he has 2 right now. If he hits 5 homers, but I need to have like 35 steals, and at the bare minimum a 250 average. I mean, that's 1 hit every 4 times up, and he could feasibly get that 2-3 times a week laying down a bunt, which would hike that average from 230 up to like 260. It's only the difference of 2 or 3 hits a week, and he can get that with his speed and start using it. Now, I don't know if he is not picking up the pitchers at the pro level. They're a little better holding them on. If that's the case, they need to work on that because 7 steals is unacceptable for a guy of that caliber.
We're not
I mean, you look at Turner, Stott, and Crawford. I expect 35 to 40 each of these for each of these guys, and Stott's probably going to have it. He's over 15 now. Turner's probably they're going to have 30, Stott and Turner. I'd like to see them in the 40s or 50s, and they can do it. But Crawford's kind of, for me, has been just like a disappointment. He was good in April when the team struggled.
Yeah.
And then he started, it seems like he's chasing high fastballs, and he's not catching up to them. You're not going to catch up to them up here in the majors. You're going to catch up to them in AAA, but you're not going to get them up here. So, for him, he needs to be a little better. But again, that's a top prospect, Painter's a top prospect, and Miller, and quite frankly, from right now, I'm not impressed with any of them.
Speaking of not catching up with fastballs, that's what my buddy said about Garcia. Not to beat on Garcia, but my buddy made a very, very good point. He made. He goes, just throw him a fastball.
Yeah,
he can't catch up to it.
JT can't catch up to them no more. Garcia can't catch up to them.
No, you're right.
This team strikes out with.
Yeah, they strike out a lot. Like the other, that pitcher probably had like 4 or 5 more strikeouts than he normally does because he was facing teams that can't.
I was talking with my buddy at work the other day, and we were talking about Mizorowski against Painter, and I'm like, man, we ought to just bet the Brewers. And I hate to do that because I want to cheer against the Phillies. No. And then we thought, well, you never know. What happens if
like a close game?
What happens if Painter comes
close?
Painter. Let's say Painter gives him 5 innings, gives up 1 run. The bullpen holds it, and Mizorowski goes 7 or 8, and he's out. It's a 1-0 game, and the Phillies beat their bullpen. So then we turned over, and I said, why don't you look up at, like, what's the strikeouts, Mizorowski, over under or something? So it was 9. And I was like, man, I really like that. And so did my work buddy. And I didn't get the bet in, and I'm kicking myself in the butt because what, it ended up being 15 or something.
Yeah, it was a lot.
That's
like
just
14,
something you knew that was going to happen that night. Mizorowski pitching, you knew the strikeouts would be there. You knew we weren't going to hit or score.
That was some record too. That hadn't been done in like.
Well, he faced all 27. But Schwarber had the only hit, and then a double play from Harper means he faced the minimum 27 batters. Struck 15 of them out.
This is the reason
it just seems to happen too much, and you're going to see that in the playoffs.
That's what I was just going to say. That's
you have to put the bat on the ball.
Yeah, you got to score something. You got to do something because, like you're to your point that in playoffs, that's
all you're going to say.
That's what'll happen.
I mean, this team. Look, we've said this for years now. This team will feast on a team's sometimes third, but definitely their 4th and 5th starters. And when you get into that bullpen, if it's not the closer or the 1st or 2nd guy, like if a team's down 2 runs and they bring in the 4th or 5th guy out of the bullpen, the Phillies destroy them guys. The 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th guy out of the bullpen.
Yeah, definitely.
But in the playoffs, you're not getting that.
You're
getting the top 3 or 4 out of the bullpen. You're getting the top 3 starters.
Those guys are playing checkers in the bullpen. They're not coming in the game.
That's where we see the Phillies struggling, and that's where we need that hitter. And that's what Trey was supposed to be, the guy that was going to hit for average and set the table. And quite frankly,
hasn't happened.
He just hasn't been. Last year he did win a batting title. That has to be one of the most, like, under the radar batting titles like I ever remember. Like it didn't even seem like it happened.
It wasn't like, and not everybody was hitting that. Like the pitching the hitting's down, the pitching's up. We're just like.
I mean, we could beat the. Like we said, the
offense.
I still think the team is good enough. They win games. So all this bitching we're doing about the hitting and the averages being low, and they are low, and Nola giving up home runs every time he pitches, and Painter, they're still winning. They're 5 games over 500. They're in a wild card spot, but management, John Middleton, Dombrowski, Mattingly, whoever else is involved in this, they cannot sit there and be comfortable with what they have
right
now. Unless they are comfortable with this, saying, you know what, make the playoffs. The fans are happy. The stadium's selling out. We're going to sell our tickets. Maybe they're okay with that. But this team, I just
needs a little help.
They need help. Yes, every team, with the exception of probably the Dodgers, needs help.
But the Dodgers will go and get somebody anyway.
Of course they will. Why wouldn't they?
Why wouldn't they?
They'll probably get a guy that the Phillies are targeting, a left-handed reliever or something, and he'll go to the Dodgers
or the Braves.
And we'll play the Dodgers again in the playoffs, and that'll be that. So I mean, they really have to figure this out, folks.
I will give the Brewers some credit; they're a really good team, and the Braves are awesome as well. I wish we were awesome like them. I don't think we're as complete a team as those guys.
We're not complete.
We're a really good team with some really good pitching, but our offense is we've been bitching about the offense for like 2 years.
Well, we've said this before. We said, look, JT's an aging catcher, all right? A lot of these players are aging. We can live with JT playing good defensively, batting 8th. I can live with Crawford batting 9th as a rookie here if he plays good defense and he steals 25 or 30 bases. I can live with that in the 8th and 9th hole. The problem is we're struggling between the like Turner's struggling in the 1st or 2nd spot. Baum and Stott are starting to come around, which is a good sign.
Yes.
And I don't know what the hell to expect from Hill and Rincones Jr. I mean, my best guess would be is Hill will do what he's done since he's been in the majors, which is hit about 213.
Yeah. Do almost nothing.
Do almost nothing, and Rincones will probably struggle as a rookie being called up.
And he's not
going
to play a lot.
Well, he's going to play against righties, and Hill's going to play against the lefties, and they're going to work that platoon as much as they can. You're going to see Sosa,
pretty much the same offensive
games,
same offensive production as he did with Garcia.
Garcia, probably right. Yeah,
pretty much the same. It's substitute guy.
Yeah, we've been talking about they needed to replace someone anyway, so they're still going to need to replace someone. So basically, that's kind of where they're at, folks. Like I said, we have 11 games to the halfway game, halfway mark of the season, 81 games. That'll be probably our next podcast. We'll probably do a Friday night happy hour before the Mets. We'll do a quick one and we'll talk about.
Yeah. We're gonna try to get to media.
We could do something like that. Yeah, we got some
force
stuff
that out.
coming up. I got a couple things I got to touch base with a few people.
We gotta get out. We're gonna do some more.
Try to get
I
over
would like to
media.
do some more.
My buddy Eric with the
off-site,
tattoos wanted us to come down and do one down there.
Oh,
So
right.
I got to reach
shit,
out to a
that's
few
right.
people and set some things
We
up.
gotta get some stuff lined up and do it in other more breweries. I like the Bill Capper one was really fun. I don't think we're going back to 2SP, but
we could go back there. Set something up inside.
We'll go somewhere. We got to figure. We got a couple of things.
The motocross didn't help that day outside. So we got to do something
Games.
inside there. And
The X Games, the X Games.
X Games knocked us out. But
Yeah.
we're going to set something up a little later for media.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
My
That'd
buddy
be cool.
Eric, like I said, he has a tattoo parlor. He wants us to come down and do one there.
Yeah.
You know, tattooing maybe a Phillies tattoo on someone. Maybe me. Maybe a tattoo on my
Can you
calf
do
and a
it?
Phillies tattoo.
You can multitask, John.
I
You
can
get
I
a
can drink beers,
tattoo.
get a tattoo, and talk about the Phillies. Sure,
I think that would be super
I think
cool.
that can be done. That would be
I think it
probably
would be a first in
pretty
the
cool.
podcast universe to get a tattoo.
Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be
Like,
cool.
you know?
So we have a few things
Yeah.
lined up for you folks. You know,
Yeah, I'm
with the
excited
summer,
about
just
that.
we just got to reach out to
This
some people, set
this
some
right
things
field
up.
platoon, not so much.
No, not excited about that. I mean, I'm still excited about the Phillies. We still
Yeah,
got a good
yeah,
amount of
man.
games left this
Yeah,
year that we're going to
man.
get down there. We're going to try to do a live, podcast from K-Lot. We haven't
K-Lot
done
will
one yet
happen.
down there. We'll get one of them going.
Yeah, maybe after this World Cup because they took over half of K-Lot.
Commandeered the
Yeah,
parking lot.
we're all like, you get there late and it's cold, the gate's closed.
You're like,
can't even
shit.
get in there.
Yeah, yep,
It's like
yep.
because this side, our side, is all
Well,
World
them soccer
Cup and
fans
stuff.
party. You know that, man. They get down there yourself. You'll be
yeah.
down there next Friday partying like in a.
I will be, yes, I will be cheering USA on versus Australia at 3 p.m. next Friday at Brauhaus.
That's a good time.
Brauhaus
3 p.m.
Schmitz.
game. That's nice.
Yeah, and if I may, I want to give a shout out to what I was doing this past weekend, if it's okay to do this on Baseball and Beers.
Sure.
I would like
So they'd
to
love
cheers to the Mighty Manatees, local band from Montgomery County. I see them in Phoenixville and Blue Bell and Skip Back and everywhere, really. Cheers to 40 years to the Mighty Manatees.
Damn, 40 years.
I'm hair of the dog right here. Two nights of drinking and seeing like live music for Friday night and all since like 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. It was outstanding. What a celebration! What a reunion of all kinds of fans from years. I saw people I hadn't seen in like 20 years last night. It was great.
That's
So
a long
cheers
one.
to 40 years to the
40
Mighty
years.
Manatees,
Goddamn.
man. What a blast! What a blast!
Sounds good.
Fantastic. Cheers.
All right, cheers. Well, that's all we got,
yeah.
folks. And look for us. We're gonna, like I said, we'll have our next podcast when the Phillies hit the 81 game mark, and we'll see where they're at, and
Drink some more beers.
drink some more. Well,
Summer beers.
obvious. And
Yes.
go Phils, folks. Enjoy the rest of the weekend and enjoy the summer.